What's up, guys? So in this video, I want to take a look at the MCU character, Ravonna Renslayer. Now, she was the judge in the first episode of Loki, and she seems to be Owen Wilson's boss in the show. As of now, she seemed kind of like a minor character, but trust me, her character will take on a bigger role in upcoming episodes and MCU projects. And this is because Ravonna in the comics is the main love interest of Kang the Conqueror, who is set to be in Ant-Man 3. So it's only a matter of time before her character gets more involved. And I thought it might be helpful to give you guys a breakdown of who she is based on her comic book origins. But first, I do a lot of MCU related videos on this channel, and if that's something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. Okay, so Ravonna is an old school character. She first appeared in 1965. And she's kind of a strange character. In my opinion, kind of a terrible person. So what King the Conqueror does is he jumps around different time periods and he conquers different kingdoms. And then he asserts himself as their absolute ruler. And he kills whoever the rulers were. And he does this with every kingdom he conquers, without question. It's even part of his rules. However, he breaks his own rule after conquering Princess Ravonna's kingdom, because apparently he falls instantly in love with her. Initially, she denies Kang's advancements. Not because Kang is a vicious authoritarian who just conquered her kingdom. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's because she sees Kang as a commoner, because he's not royalty. And this is kind of what plays into why I think she's kind of a terrible person. So Kang, still wanting Ravonna's heart, puts together a plan to sweep her off her feet. And his plan to make her fall in love with him is to murder a bunch of people in front of her. And this is a special murdering, so Kang really wants to impress her. So Kang decides to abduct the entire Avengers team, which at this point in comics only consists of Scarlet Witch, her brother Quicksilver, and Hawkeye, so definitely not that impressive. And keep in mind at this point in comics, Wanda was not the OP character she is now. But Kang teleports the Avengers to Ravonna's kingdom, defeats them, although she still refuses it. So Kang says, "Marry me, or I'll kill everyone in your kingdom." And of course, her being such a noble ruler, still refuses. Really seems like she should have just took one for the team there, but she decides to have her whole kingdom and the Avengers fight against Kang. And they all lose. I mean, it wasn't even close. Although at this point, Kang's army is like, whoa. King, you can't be marrying the ruler of a conquered kingdom. We have rules in place. We have to kill them. Now kill them now. Kang basically tells him to shut it, and his entire army betrays him. Kang is somehow able to defeat them, but as the revolt's leader is about to be killed, he gets one more shot off to kill Kang. And suddenly, Princess Ravonna jumps in front of the shot and sacrifices herself to save Kang. And right before she dies, she tells Kang that she does love him. It's gotta be one of the most unhealthy relationships I've ever seen. My prediction of how she connects to the MCU is that Kang will actually be a TVA employee who falls in love with Renslayer, and somehow Renslayer will die, and after her death, someone will take on the persona of Kang the Conqueror, who will then go on to conquer different worlds, trying to figure out a way to actually save her. Just my prediction.
I love it. Makes you sound super smart.
Okay, so she's dead now. But it's comics, so obviously she won't stay dead. We jump a little bit into the future, and Kang is battling Thor. And during this battle, a divergent version of Kang is created. So now there's two Kangs. So now that there's two of them, both these Kangs decide to go save Ravonna. But they do it in two separate ways. One of them takes Ravonna before she's killed. The other version of Kang puts Ravonna in stasis after she's shot, but before she dies. The Ravonna that's still perfectly fine stays with Kang for a little bit, but ends up betraying Kang to keep the Avengers alive. And she eventually shacks up with Immortus, who's an alternate future version of Kang. More or less, he's kind of the good version of Kang. For the other Ravonna, the one on the brink of death, she is resurrected, but in a very different way. So the Grandmaster, you know the guy from the Thor movie?
This is my melting stick.
Well, in comics, he's a super powerful guy, known as one of the Elders of the Universe, and his big thing is that he really enjoys playing games. So he challenges Kang to a game, and whoever wins gets the prize of having the power of life or death. And it's life or death. You can only pick one of the two, and it's only for a limited amount of time. Kang ends up winning, but instead of picking life to save Ravonna, he picks death to kill the Avengers. Although he's stopped before he can actually kill them, obviously. So Kang just kind of flees after the Avengers gang up to beat him up, leaving Ravonna's still frozen body behind. Obviously a sign that he truly loves her. And the Grandmaster's like, alright, so what do I do with this lady now? So he plans on trolling Kang by bringing her back to life and totally snitching on Kang that he chose killing the Avengers over saving her. Understandably, she's not happy about this and dedicates her life to killing Kang. She even goes as far as manipulating Dr. Druid, who is an Avenger at this point, by posing as Nebula.
Well, hello, boys.
So she poses as Nebula, seduces Dr. Druid, and if you don't know who Dr. Druid is, he's basically the poor man's version of Doctor Strange. And she has Dr. Druid mentally control the Avengers. He takes leadership of the team in order to get some weapons to kill Kang. The whole plan kind of blows up in her face. Later, however, Kang is able to capture the Avengers, but shortly after, Ravonna shows up, donning a new and her most known persona, Terminatrix. And she tells King, well, I'm here to kill you. And she starts fighting King, and she's actually able to hold her own pretty well. But while King is distracted, the Avengers are set free and begin battling all of King's goons. So the two groups are fighting at the same time. Thor is attempting to take out King the Conqueror. He throws his hammer, sending his hammer directly to an unaware Terminatrix. Before the hammer can strike her, King, this time, sacrifices himself to save her. And Terminatrix, finally realizing that King did love her, puts his body in stasis before he can die from his injuries, and while King is in stasis, she takes control of all of his conquered kingdoms. King, of course, is eventually brought back to life. However, during an attack from Immortus, it is believed that Terminatrix dies, and I'm pretty sure we haven't seen her in comics since like 1998. But that's the character of Ravonna Renslayer, and with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure you slap that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.